Oh my God, guys. Um,
All
I
right,
know,
folks. Well,
I
we
know I'm
are
late.
back here
Welcome
in
to the stream.
2021, and
Yet
you know,
again, it's only me this
sometimes the
time.
most difficult
The reason
discussions, rather,
I was late
are the
on
ones that we
this
need to have in
podcast
person.
because my
Now,
microphone and
the
my
Furry
audio was
community
not working,
already being such a diverse
and now
place,
it's working.
it's time for the creative space to
So
reflect that. So here's
that
take
was
two
super
of an
annoying.
important discussion on the necessity of diversity,
Checking
equity,
if my mic.
inclusion, and the corporate responsibility to honor those things.
Okay, I think it's working. Yeah, it's working. Okay, welcome to the take two. This is so the goal is.
Hello, I'm
Let's see.
Alan
Oh,
Lewis,
shut up.
Vice President of Corporate Communications and Public Affairs for Take-Two Interactive. Thank you for joining us today and welcome to Virtual E3 2021. Take-Two, like many organizations, is deeply committed to and actively involved in
Take
numerous
two.
initiatives to
Oh,
enhance
oh.
diversity, equity, and inclusion within our society and industry. Affecting meaningful, sustainable change is a continuous process, and there is no one solution that can achieve that goal. We believe that to enact change, especially for those in underserved and
Get up.
underrepresented communities, there needs to be a continuum of activism and engagement with educational programs serving as its core foundation. Beginning with children in elementary school, we have the ability to light a spark of creativity, intellectual curiosity, and wonder that can last a lifetime. Continuing through middle and high school, we can support and nurture students during their formative years and increase the depth of their skills that can provide a pathway to attending one of the 400 plus colleges and universities within the United States that offer
Okay,
degrees in
so
game design.
the main goal
Providing
of this
opportunities to attend
is
these
it's
academic
only going to be
institutions,
only to take two.
including need-based
That's it.
financial support,
And then later
is
on
also a
tonight we'll
critical
go
component to
for
helping end
the bin
generational
or stuff
cycles
like
of
that,
inequality.
and then we'll go to Capcom
And while
stream,
pursuing
and
their
that's it.
creative
That's it
and
for today.
technical degrees,
Tomorrow's
students
stream
can
is
learn
going to be
firsthand
very
from
long,
industry leaders that share
so
their experience, acumen, and
that's
passion
going to be
through
interesting.
one-on-one mentoring and internships at our organization. Together, if our
So I'm just
industry can
thinking,
execute
where's
this
Zombies?
continuum,
Zombies is
we
not
will
here
have
with me at
invested
the moment.
meaningfully
He
in the
will come
lives of
later
the
on
youth
tonight
from these communities
because we have
for
different
more than
times.
a decade before they begin their professional journey.
We both have different times
Diversity and
because
inclusion make
again
us a
I'm from
better
Canada,
industry
he's from the
for
UK,
today and
so
most importantly, for tomorrow.
we both have
It
different
allows
times.
us to make better entertainment experiences that are authentic, culturally relevant, and reflective of the audiences that enjoy them. Today, we have brought together a few of our important partners who will share their organization's mission and role in this endeavor, as well as their insights on how we as an industry can continue to take these important steps together for the future. We hope that you find their work as inspiring as we do. It is now my pleasure to turn things over to my colleague, Tony Lagans, Director of Diversity and Inclusion for 2K, who will be the moderator for today's discussion.
Thanks, Alan. It's my pleasure to be your moderator for today's session. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce my esteemed panelists today.
WWE.
We're going to start off with Jim Huntley. Jim Huntley is currently the professor and head of marketing at
We're going to
USC.
talk about WWE
Jim is a
2K,
faculty advisor, and he's an executive producer for USC Games Expo and a co-founding
welcome
partner
to the
of
stream again.
CapU Gaming.
We
Next,
just
we
got
have
two.
Susanna
How
Pollock.
many streams we got
Susanna
there?
is the president of
We
Games
got,
for
I
Change,
think about
which is a nonprofit
so
that
many.
empowers game creators and social innovators to drive real-world impact
We've
through
got
games
this
and
one
immersive media.
and a later one.
Next to Susanna, we have
the
Gordon Bellamy.
the
Gordon
Vern
is a
and
professor of
Capcom,
practice of
but
cinematographic
that's
arts
later
at
ones,
USC.
and that's going to be
He is
one
also
full
the
stream.
head of USC
That's
Bridge
going to be,
Incubator, which is a program that helps to
but I won't
cultivate
be,
the next generation
on
of
stream for
leaders
a very long time.
in the video game industry.
Later on,
And
but
last, next
tomorrow,
to Gordon, we have Layla
tomorrow's going to be
Shabir.
crazy.
Layla is the founder of Girls Make Games, which offers a series of summer camps, workshops, and game jams designed to inspire the next generation of designers, creators, and engineers. Welcome to all of you, great panelists, and thank you so much for joining our important discussion today. Now, I'd like to dive right in here. And Jim, I'm going to start with you. In Alan's opening, he mentioned something that was so important, and it was really just talking about the increasing role that diversity, equity, and inclusion it is playing in the video game industry today. So before we get into the big concepts that we're talking about here, let's just break some things down for our viewers. Jim, can you help us understand and talk about equity and diversity and why it's so important in the conversation about the video game industry today?
Absolutely. Equity and diversity has been a challenge for the gaming industry since its inception. It hasn't really changed very, very much over time. But I think the biggest change that people are seeing in the last 2 to 3 years are the lack of it in the modern era and the rationale that there's no excuse behind not having better equity and diversity in the industry from here on out. So what I like about working with companies like Take-Two and some other companies that have reached out to me about an initiative we started called the Gerald A. Lawson Endowment Fund is that companies are now looking to invest in getting more diversity in their ranks and getting more stories told from different points of view.
I appreciate that. That's great conversation there. So let's talk about just kind of the inequities and why is it so important to have these conversations. Talk about that whole aspect and just getting people in the right mindset to understand what's available for them as majors in this industry. Jim, just talk to us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So a lot of what we've been focusing on from a USC Games perspective is making sure that students of color, Black and Indigenous students in particular, because they have the least amount of representation within our industry out of all the various demographic groups.
I think we got kicked. I
We've
think
been
this is
focusing
only
on
a classroom.
scholarships, but the challenge that we have, and I think the challenge that society and the industry has, is it starts earlier than that. There's a phrase from, I can't remember who to attribute it to, but there's a phrase that he used that I remember saying, the inequities of our past pay dividends into the future. And that sticks with me because the reality is if you don't have a great opportunity or access to computer science labs and specialized education in grade school and high school and junior high school, the odds of you having a great portfolio piece when it comes time to apply to a program like ours puts you at a deficit. And if that deficit keeps rolling on into the future, generation after generation, the gap between the ability to get into some of these slots in game design and not being able to get them gets wider and wider. So we need to do a better job as a society, and we are willing to do our part and help work with companies like Take-Two to lead the vanguard on how do we get students some opportunity from grade school? Like, how do we make sure they can see this as an option? Because when I, as a Black man, get in front of a small group of grade school students, and I say I work in the video game industry, you can see the eyes just their minds explode because they've never seen anyone like me and the videos they see on YouTube or other visitors to their classes and to their seminars. So it's important to show that we have a presence here, but it's also important to make sure that the students who look like us, who are 20 years, 30 years, 40 years behind us, also have the opportunities that we didn't in some cases to get a job in this industry.
Yes, thank you so much for your insight. So important there. Susanna, that really kind of speaks to a lot of the great work that you're doing in helping to reach this underserved community. Can you talk about the work that Games for Change is doing?
Sure. So, our mission, as you said earlier, is to empower
guys, I think
game designers and social innovators, right? To use games for social change. And we see our work with younger people as really inspiring the next generation.
I don't think
right?
we can stream this.
Just what Jim was saying, like we are going as young.
I don't think we need to stream this entire thing. I think there's not going to show any games or whatsoever. I'd be really dumb. Just be really dumb. So I'm really dumb. I'm really dumb. Searching up a word.
And we not only give them an opportunity to learn how to make games, but we also combine that with civic engagement. So they have to think about how games can help make their communities better. So right from the start, we want to empower them to think about this really important medium, not only as something they love to do, but they actually can make. They're learning important 21st century and STEM skills that can help them regardless of what career path. But what we really hope to see happen is that they see a future for themselves and they see an opportunity
I'm actually
pathway
texting
for them. And
zombies
part of our
like
program and important
to
part
take
of it
two is
is
actually
this idea of
a
mentoring
classroom.
and mentoring from near peers and also from people from the community. So as Jim says, it's so important they see themselves in the people that are coming to speak to them. So when we're in Los Angeles, for example, we can reach out to USC Games for game design students to come and speak to the kids, that we can bring people in from Riot or Activision or from Take-Two to come in and say, yes, this is what I do and this is something for you. And we do the same thing in New York and working in Atlanta and Detroit. And I can tell you that students are coming back year on year and we're seeing them use this program as like their college essay, or they're building their portfolio. And I love the idea that,
Okay,
we can get to them at a
I
young
need
age.
to mute. Guys, I feel like we should just stream later on tonight. I know this one is a bit of a downfall, but they're not really showing games. They're just talking about like kind of like I'm reading everyone's comments and it's like it's not showing mobile games. They're just talking about the stuff on what they're working on and all that. Guess I'll just talk to you guys later on. This is such a oh wow, this is stupid. But later on I will be with zombies again. We will be talking about just going through the. Then we'll be on this one. So those two only. And then tomorrow I will be on these ones. So the Nintendo, the Bandai, the GameSpot, Pay for All, any of those. So I guess this has been a short stream. I'll see you guys later on. This was a fail. I don't want to be part of a goddamn classroom. I want to see some games, and this was super annoying. So just like, so I'll see you guys